If you met an alien tonight and you had 6 hours and you could ask anything you wanted, what would you ask? Now, take a second, really think about it, because I think that most of us would default to the same 3 or 4 questions. And I'd like to talk about why that is and why I think it's worth asking something different. I started thinking about all of this after watching a video about a man named Sid Patrick. Patrick was a World War II veteran. By the mid 1960s, he was serving in the Air Force Reserves. He ran his own business repairing TVs and radios. Just a regular guy with a slightly technical background, living an ordinary life. And according to Patrick, in 1965, he was invited aboard an alien's craft. He said he spent about 6 hours there. And what struck me about his account wasn't just the encounter itself, it was what happened next. He said they let him ask questions. So he did. And he asked the questions you'd expect anyone to ask in those circumstances. Where are you from? What are you doing here? What kind of technology do you use? Reasonable questions, the kind most of us would probably ask too, if we're honest. But here's what struck me. Learning about the event decades later, these are the exact same questions we're still fixated on today. Where are they from? What do they want? What can their technology do? And then it hit me. Those aren't really our questions, not organically anyway. Those are the government questions, military questions, the kind of things officials would prioritize if they were the ones sitting across from a non-human intelligence. Strategic questions, intelligence gathering questions. Which makes sense. If you're the government, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to ask. But most of us aren't the government. We're not gathering intelligence. We are not assessing threats. So why have we adopted the government's questions as our own? Those questions are necessary if you're in charge of defending the nation, at least at first. But now the disclosure is happening drip by painfully slow drip. This issue is more important than ever because now ordinary people are being brought into the conversation. Or at least we will if we start asking different questions. So I started asking myself, if I got 6 hours with an alien, what would I actually want to know? And I realized I wouldn't lead with the technical specs. I wouldn't lead with strategy. I'd lead with the things I'd want to know about any new person that I met. The things that actually tell you who someone is. I'd ask, what makes you laugh? What makes you happy? What's something you did that makes you proud? What do you think makes someone a good friend? Because those questions will get you something the government's questions never will. They get you a person, or whatever the equivalent is for a being that isn't human. They get you character. They get you values, a sense of who's actually sitting across from you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd still want to know where they're from. That's a fair question. That's a natural one. But it wouldn't be my first question. And it definitely wouldn't be my only one. Because if we only ask the government's questions, we only get the government's answers. We get logistics and data points. We never get to the part that actually matters, who they are. And maybe, by extension, who we are too. I think that continuing to focus on the government's questions really shapes our view of the entire alien issue. So I'll ask you what I've been asking myself. If you had 6 hours with an alien and you could ask anything, what would it be? Would you ask the government's questions? Or would you ask your own? Or would you ask a combination of the two? Drop your answers in the comments. I really want to see what people actually care about, not what they've been told to care about.